All right.
Beautiful sweatshirt, Max.
We're live. We're a go, the Intellectual Idiot Show. Michael, would you like to share the news with our beautiful audience?
Yeah, hello there, beautiful Intellectual Idiot Show listeners.
We got breaking groin coming out of the Intellectual Idiot Show.
Groin.
Breaking groin. Michael, tell us about your crotch.
Well, after a lot of thought and consideration, I've decided to take my talents to the Intellectual Idiot Show full time. So, listeners, you're going to be stuck with me for the foreseeable future with your
Let's go.
Max and Ty.
We are expanding. We got 2.7 thousand views on YouTube. We are rolling. We are firing. We are growing our fan base. That means we are adding a very key member to our success. Michael, big sack, big scrotum, and large testiculars, Krupo, to the show. Give it up for Big Mike. Ty.
Excited, Mike. How do you feel about Max's? He named your testicles in like 5 different ways. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, every like podcaster, you kind of hear like they have like a pod name sort of thing. And I was thinking like, oh, like Stally Mike, that's kind of like a cool nickname. But
West
I feel like,
Mike.
Yeah, but I feel like Hoffman has referred to me as some sort of huge, ginormous.
Max seems to be obsessed with your crotch.
Well, Michael, would you like to share the story of where it stems from?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so
Not my nickname.
In high school, we were getting ready for baseball practice.
Oh man.
And Michael like dropped something out of his locker, and I thought it was like a ginormous like bowl, like you carry watermelon in or something. But all of a sudden I look on the ground and it was his cup. It was the biggest cup I've ever seen. And I was like, Michael, that's the biggest cup I've ever seen. Like, how do you ever fit that in your baseball pants? And then it led me to believe, how do you fit possibly what you have in your baseball pants? Those must be the tightest compression shorts on the face of this earth.
Wow, what a way to get Mike on the show. Absolutely grill him about it.
It's not grilling. I mean, a lot of people would be jealous. A lot of people would think it's too much. But here we are. Mike, welcome to the pod. Welcome to the family. You are a key part of our success, and we love you, and we are grateful that you're a part of the team. So thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Should we get rolling about what's going on in the world and everything like that?
Yeah. Let's hit it up. Wimbledon. Oh my God. Kyrgios is the biggest fucking baby I have ever seen on the face of the earth. I used to like him, and he looked like an idiot today.
Why?
Did you watch it?
I watched the highlights because obviously I was gone. I was up north, but like, yeah, he complains a little bit, but like,
oh, dude, he was screaming at everybody. He was screaming at the fans. He was screaming at the judges who were calling the ball out. They called the ball out, and then he'd scream at him for calling it out.
Yeah, I made Mike. I don't know if you remember this or seen the Instagram or TikTok. I made a bold call that Kyrgios would win. Once he beat Stefanos, I thought he would win.
He didn't.
Made it far. This is the furthest he's ever made it. Nick Kyrgios. I don't know if you guys know him. He's a very talented Australian tennis player. He's 27. He's been in pro tennis for 7+ years, though. He's never really lived up to his talent because he's a bit of a head case. He's always yelling at people. He's always just, getting in trouble with the tennis etiquette rules and sometimes with the law too. So it was really cool to see him get to the finals and beat Stefanos, and, sad he didn't get to play Rafa, but losing to Joker in the final.
Okay. I honestly, I'm getting into tennis. It's super fun to watch. I love to play it. Tyler and I used to play all the time. I play with Michael too. These are the only two guys I've ever played tennis with. But like, honestly, it's insane to me. Like Nick Kyrgios, I was watching it today, and he is an embarrassment. I have never seen it. Tyler, you need to go back and watch today.
I will. I'm gonna
It was
watch the whole
first
match
ever
now.
because it was his first actual like championship match. But I was like, it was an embarrassment. He was yelling every point. He was shaking his head. He was screaming every time he'd go to the chair. He was screaming at the judge. He lost a stroke. He lost a point because of yelling. He would talk himself out of the lead. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a head case, and he admits it in the press conferences. You know, he definitely should have won something by this point, but you know, he admits it, and he at least at one point he actually said he thought his ship had sailed. But yeah, Mike, what are your thoughts on Kyrgios?
Should he get credit that he is an absolute mental midget? Disgrace.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting better. He's matured a lot. I will say that. But Mike, I want to hear your thoughts. You're the big tennis guy.
I have not been a fan of Kyrgios since day one.
Really?
The one thing I will say is that he's tennis's bad boy. He gets a lot of viewership as opposed to top kid sportsmanship. He is what you like to call cheeky. He's a cheeky tennis player.
The cheeky motherfucker.
You know why he's cheeky? He's trying to do underhand serves. He tried doing that with Djokovic today, and Djokovic was able to win the point on him. He has some really great raw talent, but it's just his lack of discipline at times.
Yeah, and his lack of what's the word? Form and everything. It's a little wacky.
Yeah, Djokovic was really, I was watching probably maybe like 30-minute summary of the match. Djokovic, the Joka, he beat him 3-1. We like to call that a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, that's not even close.
I mean, but here's my thing. Like, Tyler, like what you were saying before, like, should Kyrgios get credit that he is like gotten a little bit better? Like, I mean,
no, I mean, yeah, he should.
He was like an absolute disgrace today. Like, Tyler, you have to watch
I gotta go back and watch it. I can't speak on this today.
He must have been amped up even more because it was a champ. You watched it, right, Mike?
Yeah, he did have a bit of a cakewalk. So people are wondering, oh my God, he made it to the finals. He must, he beat Tsitsipas, which is great. But he got to
fourth in the world.
Yeah. He got to skip Rafa Nadal. And Rafa Nadal has been on a hot streak. Rafa made it to the semifinal, and he decided to retire, as they call it, because of an abdominal strain.
He had
a free round to the final.
He had a 7-inch tear in his abdomen, and he played through it and beat Taylor Fritz, which Taylor Fritz should be on the major hot seat right now. I mean, to lose to Rafael Nadal, he had a 7-inch tear in his abdomen.
Abdominal, not abdomen.
Sorry, abdominal. 7-inch tear in his abdominal. Like, that's absolutely nuts.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting corrected here. That was
I thought your abdomen was something different than your abdominal.
Well, who cares?
That's a good question. But we got to give credit to the Joker. It was his 4th consecutive Wimbledon win, and he's won 7 titles on grass at Wimbledon. He's still just unbelievable.
Djokovic he's gonna be the best to ever do it. He is so consistent. I mean, you can throw any serve at him, no matter what. That man's gonna get the ball back. It's insane.
I saw Kyrgios rip some aces on him today, though.
He has a killer serve.
He was like serving it at like 127 miles per hour. I was like, I don't know.
Gets it up to mid 130s.
I was like, this is insane. I can't, so there are certain sports out there that like you really can, it's hard to grasp the professionalism and skill that these people have. Like tennis is one of those sports for me. It's like, go out there. If you're any Tom, Dick, and Harry, you go out there on the tennis court and try to play tennis like these guys do. I can barely hit the ball. Like I'm athletic, but I can barely get the ball consistently in like the what do you call it? Server's box, right?
We're hitting the ball. I mean, at least for me, I'm constantly hitting home runs over the fence. Like it's not good. I swing. Whenever I try to do a real hard swing, it just flies over the fence.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like my serves to get in the box, like I have to serve it super slow, or like, I mean, and I don't have any skill with my backhand. It's like these guys just make it look so easy, and these balls are coming at them at 130 miles per hour. It's like that's like twice as fast as an MLB pitch to a batter. That's nuts. Sorry, Mike.
I'm not sure if you guys saw a clip of Kyrgios, but this was like in one of the first, second, third round matches where he was like receiving a serve and the guy aced it. It was in like well in play in bounds, and Kyrgios decided to challenge it. And I love it. Like sometimes they'll like zoom in to see like where the ball is on the court, and it was in by like a foot. And he has the audacity of like chewing up the line judge, going like, "Why did you let me challenge it? It was clearly in." I'm like, what?
It's
Just-
everything.
Just that kind of sort of sportsmanship part where it's funny. It's objectively funny. We'll have to pull up the clip sometime. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like, come on, buddy.
It
He's
gets
not
him, it was
helping the
getting
referee.
annoying today, Michael. It was getting annoying today. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't funny. It was getting to the point where it's like, I was like, oh my God, is there gonna be anything that happens today where Kyrgios isn't like screaming at somebody? It was like he's screaming at the fan, he's getting into fights with fans for fun. He's getting into fights with the line judge when they call it in, when it's clearly in, and he's like challenging it that it's out, and it's like it's clearly in, and then he's screaming at him because they called it in. It's
It's just entertaining for the sport. Yeah, he's a little
is.
complaining sometimes. He just makes it. At least I think it, like, obviously the complaining sometimes isn't fun to watch, but he makes it so fun the way he plays.
We're talking about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. We're talking about it.
Did you guys watch the Tsitsipas Kyrgios match at all? That was the most entertaining match I've ever seen. I watched the whole thing. Did you guys watch that at all? Holy crap.
Nah.
They were going Tsitsipas was getting so mad at Kyrgios. He drilled the ball. It's, not tennis etiquette when you're at the net to drill the ball at the person while they're at the net. Stefanos drilled it at him 4 times and hit him. It was either 2 or 3 times, just dead in the chest. And Kyrgios was just like, and then when Kyrgios, he kept like, how when a player hits the ball and it tips over the net and they're supposed to like kind of like, oh, sorry, like,
Sure.
like when they like, hit like a dinker and it like hits the net and barely goes over and they can't get it. Like, the proper thing is they'll apologize.
I didn't purposely do that. Yeah.
Yeah. But Kyrgios kept bowing when he kept doing it because he would make Stefanos so upset. Oh my God. And then Stefanos got so upset at one of the points. I know I posted it on one of our TikToks or something, or a reel. He drills a ball as hard as he can into the crowd and almost hits an old man in the face. I sincerely am still shocked at how he did not get ejected.
He did get a fine of like what was it, like 500,000 or 250,000 or something like that.
That's a lot of money. There's no way it was that much. That's got to be straight out of your ass.
He got a fine.
Why don't you look it up? Look it up.
I will. I'll look it up.
Like,
Max looks that up. I think
Max-
another
Go ahead.
thing is like tennis. We were just talking about how like Stefanos and all these pros are getting worked up. That is such like a mental sport where like you could be so athletic, hit all your shots, but if someone's getting in your head or if you yourself are getting in your head, that can just like completely change the result of the game. Like I've played with Max, I played with other people, and it's like, say you miss like one shot or your opponent does something shaky to them, like you can get rattled and it can really just affect like the rest of your game.
Yeah, he was so rattled from all of Kyrgios' underhand serves, his between the leg serves, his antics of getting the crowd hyped or bowing, and he was getting so upset. And like, if Djokovic is getting ejected and basically being like, canceled when he hit the girl back with the ball at the baseline, like, yeah, it was bad, but like if he's getting ejected for that, don't you kind of have to hold the same standard?
That I agree that 100%. ATP tour, get your line
shit
checked.
straight. But I did want to show one clip before we move on. Did you guys see at the end the press conferences, like they were kind of talking how they had a little bromance? I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up it's like a quick minute clip. I just wanted to share it.
Yeah, that's it.
Did you find out how much it was, Max?
No, I can't find it now.
Oh, dang. I thought this was kind of.
I never thought
cool.
I'm going to say so many nice things about you, considering the relationship.
Yeah, because they've had a rocky stuff.
Is that Prince Harry?
I think so.
Okay, it's officially a bromance. All right.
And it started on social media, didn't it? Because you had a little exchange and you said the winner buys dinner.
That's what I have. That's why you lost. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make it happen tonight or some other night, but yeah, hopefully this is a start of a wonderful relationship between two of us. Well,
I've got to say though, he didn't really want dinner. He said, "Let's go to a nightclub and go nuts." So
I
are you
didn't-
ready for that?
I didn't respond to that because my wife was next to me, so I was like, "We're gonna."
You wanted to go to that surfer's paradise, that Aussie Gold Coast club, mate.
I love how
Yeah.
Kyrgios immediately to rebel against Wimbledon, he puts on a red hat because you're not supposed to wear anything that's not white. So he definitely is getting fined for that.
Dude, he did it like four times.
The red hat.
After he beat Stefanos, I'm pretty sure. He wore like these like Air Jordan, red and white Air Jordans, and then he put on his red Air Jordan hat.
Yeah, he's a little rebel.
You know, I have a little bit of a hot take on that. You know, I honestly think the players should be able to express themselves. I know Wimbledon has this 100-year history of
Yeah, it's
you only wear white. I mean,
traditions.
if people are allowed to wear sweatshirts with cats flipping off people, could be
Smoking a
referenced
blunt.
to
The bucket hat.
now.
Cat
You'd
smoking
be able to wear a
blunt,
red hat.
flipping people off. I think that they should be able to wear a shirt that says this on this.
Why not?
Why not wear a cat smoking a blunt, wearing shades, flipping you off?
Did you order that just for this show?
No, I did not. But it's a pretty awesome sweatshirt. I'll be 110% honest with you. But yeah, no, just a crazy tournament. It was fun to watch. I mean, really just I was enthralled with it. Like it was like couldn't get enough of the tennis.
So fun to watch. Like I never thought I'd get into it.
Tennis, the skill in tennis reminds me a lot of the skill in golf. Like watching those PGA Tour athletes like out there, like do it, like the shots that they make, and like they make it so easy. Like you never see a guy topping a golf ball in the middle of the golf course in the PGA Tour. It's like if you do, you're just like, oh my God, what just happened? You know what I mean? It's like once in a while they'll hit a bad shot, but it's like they make it look so easy too. Meanwhile, us are out there hacking our way through the golf course. Mike, how did you golf this morning?
Oh, it was absolutely horrible. The greens felt like we were at Augusta. I think I had about 3 or 4 holes where I had 4 putts where a putt would just roll off the green and we're back at square one. But that's interesting you mentioned that. Like with golf, you know, we're happy if we can just hit a ball into the green, or in tennis, we can just hit a ball over the court and in. But like these golfers, they're looking at like pinpoint accuracy, like, oh, I need to hit it 5 feet away from the pin. These tennis players, like, I want to hit down the line. But you're right, there's a lot of technical skill that these tennis players have that I never really
so much
realized.
mentality, like you mentioned before. It's such a mental sport being out there by yourself.
Yeah.
Dude, I golfed with my uncle on Saturday. He's a golf pro.
Yes,
Uncle
I know.
Dan. And like he expects excellence of himself on there in the court. He shot like a 76 at Morningstar Golf Club, and it's a really nice golf course. I shot like a 98 or 96, and I was very happy with it. I actually played pretty well. For me, I would say I got about a 24 handicap, 22, 24 around there. But Dan was like, he had this chip that it ended up being about maybe like 6 or 7 feet from the hole. It's like, all of a sudden I hear, fuck. I'm like,
Sounds like someone we know, Max.
you know who you
You know
are.
who you are.
Real Jack Mosh.
Comment
Stand
on
up.
our YouTube if you know who you are.
But I'm like, but he expects to make that shot. Like these guys, you know how many chips he made? Like, I'm like, dude, if I don't skull my chip over the green, I'm like rejoicing. If I chip it onto the green, I am a happy camper.
Same.
It's brutal. It's brutal out there. All right, let's move it on to what's hot, what's not. I have some good ones lined up, and I am ready to rip. I have been feeling extremely opinionated lately, and I am ready to ruffle some feathers.
All right.
Let it rip. Let's hear it.
So I'm gonna start. I actually have I have a couple. I have actually 3 what's nots, but one of them was Nick Kyrgios, and we already talked about Nick Kyrgios. So
Yeah, you can talk about Kyrgios.
I expressed how I felt about Nick Kyrgios, so I'm gonna take him out. But my other 2 what's nots that I want to talk about is, did you guys hear about Zach Wilson, the quarterback?
Oh, what happened?
You stole mine. It's okay.
All right, so you stole mine last week, Mike. So we're even.
Okay, go ahead.
Zach Wilson's girlfriend dumped him,
The one that he was supposed to marry?
Yeah. So Zach Wilson, the quarterback of the Jets, his girlfriend dumped him, and she took heat for ending up dating his best friend from BYU.
Mm-hmm.
Best friend from BYU. So him and Zach Wilson still hang out, but not anymore. Now they don't hang out at all. But
Must be dating the
it
best.
came out that the reason why is that Zach Wilson was sleeping with his best friend's mom.
What?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight.
Breaking groin.
I need to redo this. So Zach Wilson's girlfriend is now dating his best friend,
Yes.
and the reason she left Zach Wilson is because Zach Wilson was sleeping with his best friend's mom.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Isn't that messed up?
That's
Yeah,
wild.
Michael just dropped the link down here below, dude. Just absolutely nuts.
What?
Absolutely nuts.
That is
Yeah.
huge breaking ground.
Wait. This Instagram comment that she put, which was like where the news source was from, she commented he was sleeping with his mom's best friend.
So it wasn't the mom; it was the mom's best friend.
Wait, it was the mom's best friend, like his mom's best friend.
In a way, I think that's almost worse.
Wait,
That's
so it was
way
his
worse.
best friend. It was his best friend's mom's best friend, or his
His
personal
mom's best friend.
his own mom's best friend.
Wow, he's a piece of shit.
Holy shit, Zach, you are out. He's a Jet. Of course, he's fucking up. Jets
Wow.
cannot get it right.
That's so.
Character issues.
Maybe that's where he got mono from.
What's worse? What's worse, this or
With his
Michigan?
mom's best friend. That is
What-
just put
what-
that the viewers put that into perspective right now. Think of your mom's best friend. That's so like so messed up.
Wait, is it a guy though, or is it a girl? Do we
I
know?
don't know. Maybe it could be.
Assuming it's a female, but you never know.
It is a female.
You can't assume. You cannot assume.
Are you assuming that Zach Wilson is a homosexual, which there is nothing wrong with?
No, we just don't know who his mom's best friend is. So
It's up to history. We'll find out.
All right. Well,
That is a good one. Holy crap.
that is nuts. So my second what's not,
yeah,
just because I have to throw it out there, I think I'm done with the Brewers this year, or at
Mm.
least for a while.
kinda
I need
checked
to take
out.
a break. I need to take a break. I'm done. I need to stop investing myself. I need to stop freaking out about them. You cannot sit there and call yourself a contender after you've had a tough schedule, you had a tough road, you broke out of it. You cannot sit there, call yourself a contender, have a 4-game series against the Pirates, a 3-game series against the Cubs, and then another 3-game series against the Pirates going into the All-Star break, split this series with the Pirates, lose the series at home to the Cubs, and then lose the series at home to the Pirates. I mean, that's about as bad as you can end the first half of the season. The Brewers are in a heap of trouble. They are nowhere near the top tier level of competition that there is out there. Even getting Freddie Peralta back before the playoffs, like he won't be ready to go like to where he would be if he was pitching all year. And like, we're in so much trouble. We have no offense. We can't hit. Just when you think things start to click, we end up just reverting back to what we've been doing for the past 2 years. It's really frustrating. It's a bummer. It is what the Brewers are. This is what the Brewers are playing. This is who they are. They're not getting any better than this. I don't think they're going to be any worse than this, but it's like what you're going to get. You're going to get a team that maybe finishes 5 to 10 games over 500, maybe sneaks into a wild card game if they get lucky and win the division in a absolutely garbage NL Central and get a playoff spot. Great. They'll get fucking killed. The Padres, the Dodgers, the Giants. The Braves are playing out of this world. Look at all these starting lineups, top to bottom. They're just relentless. Hitters, a bunch of hitters. Brewers got nobody. They're in big trouble. Losing these series right before the break is a disaster. Just not a lot to be happy about with the Brewers right now.
But we're a second half season ball club team.
We're going to turn it up. I agree, Mike. We're going to turn it up. We're going to make a big signing.
I mean, it's hard to make a big signing when you got it signed Yelich to a $25 million a year and when you're a small market team and
We're gonna bring back Prince Fielder. There you go.
him and his broken neck. So that's phenomenal.
Wait. You know who we do need to bring back? We got to bring back, who was that? We got to bring back our old third base coach, Ed Cedar. We got to bring him back.
He brings the mo. I agree.
And my what's hot are Wing Wednesdays and Mike.
What do you mean?
Mike-
Wing Wednesdays?
Mike is what's hot for being a part of the team. And Wing Wednesdays are our new segment that we're going to be starting on YouTube. Not this week,
Shorts,
it's dropping
Instagram
next.
Reels.
It's dropping next week, but Wing Wednesday, we are going to be going to all the wing shops in Milwaukee. We are going to be tasting all the wings. We're going to be giving you our feedback. We're going to be rating them, and it's going to be lit.
And it's eventually going to get outside of Milwaukee too. When we get big with these Wing Wednesdays, Portnoy is going to be asking about us. We're going to be,
Of course.
out east. We're going to be going out west for these wings. We're going to have restaurants reaching out to us to try their wings and,
Of course.
for them. So it's going
All
to
right.
manifest.
Mike,
All right. Let's go. I do have a backup. What's not? We're gonna
Always going to have a backup.
stick with our friends across the pond here. It was announced on Friday or Thursday, sometime last week. Boris Johnson is stepping down as Prime Minister of the UK. I don't really know if you guys ever watch like the parliamentary in Britain, but it is so much more entertaining to watch than like a congressional hearing on freaking
I don't
C-SPAN.
know shit about
They're
it.
ripping on people all the time. Like this dude's like more or less, your president, and he's like talking, and they're like, "Oh, that's us, that's a bunch of baloney over there." Like they're just ripping at him, like when they're supposed to have their little meetings and stuff. So
Wow.
too bad Boris getting the boot at some point. So
adios, Boris.
what's hot? Two interesting ones. You guys probably heard from, I don't know, a week or two ago, the Big Ten, we're adding big bad USC and UCLA for football games. Everyone's giving me a thumbs down, but in college football, I think you need chaos, and chaos ensues. I can't wait.
I
Yeah,
agree with that. Chaos is fun.
Chaos is fun.
All it's going to end up being is the Big Ten and SEC, dude. That's what it's going towards.
Yeah,
It's
they're
putting money in.
monopolizing these conferences. They're making everything else irrelevant.
Well, I'd rather be part, as in a Wisconsin Badger alumni, part of one of the marquee conferences than just that Big Ten doing nothing
That's
and
fair.
us having to play freaking Cornhuskers, Nebraska, and Northwestern every year as our.
I think we had enough problems to worry about in the Big Ten, seeing we haven't beat Ohio State in about 40 years. So maybe we should just
Fair.
worry about what we can't even handle already.
Good point. All right, that was just a quick blurb. And then this other one, on a more personal note, what is hot? Pawn Stars. I have been addicted to watching little YouTube clips of biggest like trades and deals on Pawn Stars.
Oh, I
This is
love-
what Mike does. This is a classic Michael
Pawn
comment.
Stars is great, dude. I miss Chumley. I love
Classic
Chumley.
Michael comment.
I miss the old man. He died. The
Oh.
old man, he's like, one of his marquee lines was, "Them bastards lied to me." I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
I think it's just hilarious. You get to learn a little bit of history, and then people
Yeah.
get just absolutely ripped. And then the main owner, Rick on Pawn Stars, he laughs like every 5 seconds. He's got like one of those laughs that goes like, or, I don't even know how to.
Whoa,
Try to-
whoa, that was a freaky laugh.
or
You
it's kinda
sounded like
a-
Pennywise right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sounded like a clown.
it's more raspy, like from his throat. He kind of goes like, I don't know if that's closer or not, but I'm gonna wrap up my what's hot, what's not. And
I think
moving on to-
I think you should for sure wrap it up.
That was a little scary, Mike. I'm not gonna lie.
You just ended with a bang. That was brutal.
Really good. What's hot? What's not? But wow,
Let's move it down to Jeski.
Sure. So for what's hot this week, I came across this video on Facebook.
Okay.
It was I've never watched a video so many times. I pulled this video up and I think I watched it about 20 times in a row just. And so this marlin, they were catching a marlin, and this thing hops on board, and somehow this dude gets slapped by this marlin about 4 times in 4 different ways. and he somehow doesn't get impaled by this
Yeah.
marlin. He
They
doesn't
have
die.
the really big pointy noses, right?
Yep, they have a sword, basically.
This is on our YouTube, by the way.
Yep, I did put a little short on it. If you guys already watched it, I'm gonna show it again, but I'm gonna show it right now. Share my screen. If it'll let me pull it up. All right.
You guys are fishing.
He gets hit by that thing twice. Watch this. Ding, ding, ding.
He did like the thing that saved his life. He was just like moving his like upper torso and had like a little helicopter. He was just
That,
spinning around and
that is
somehow
like this-
avoided it.
Yeah, what's hot? This guy has got to be the luckiest man in the world. That thing is probably 1,000 pounds just coming at him. Somehow avoids that. Miraculous.
My scratch off guy.
Yeah, for real. Max, you got any comments on that? I see your little golf clap there.
I mean, I'm happy for the guy. I think that he came out and kind of escaped death. I'll tell you what, you only get a couple of those in your life, so I'd use them wisely.
You did use one there, unfortunately. So
He
he's
used
probably
one,
got
so
more
he's
to
only got a couple more. I'll tell you what, if that happens again, he's a goner. So
Well,
that's
good
that's
for
my,
him. I hope they got the Marlin. That's all I care about.
he could be it. All right, what's not?
What's not? So I had an interesting situation. I know Max, you already duetted my TikTok, my Airbnb TikTok. I had an interesting situation happen. Really fucked up.
Uh-oh.
So we had a tree fall down at my cabin and it like almost hit the house, but it didn't, thank God. And it oversaturated the ground. So basically the whole ground in like the backyard, it's like kind of like mud and like you walk there and you sink into it. So we had to order a bunch of gravel. I think we ordered about 800 pounds and we put it there. And my guy calls me. He's like, "Hey, Tyler, we got a problem." And then he breaks up and I can't hear him. So I had to call him back. It took an hour to get a hold of him because there's no service there.
Oh.
Now I'm freaking out. I thought another tree fell and hit the house. I'm like, oh God, no. But then he calls me. He's like, "Your fucking neighbors. I'm looking at their driveway right now. And there's buckets. They were coming down with buckets, taking your gravel and spreading it on their driveway. So they
What?
stole 400 pounds of gravel from my gravel that I had on my land and spread it on their driveway. They just took it and thought, like, oh yeah, we'll just steal it. It's what? There's my guy sent me a fucking picture of it, and at first I was like, "Hey, can you explain what these pictures are?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, they I see the buckets. They were just walking buckets up to their driveway and just using your gravel. They took half of it."
I love it. I mean, I gotta respect the balls on your neighbor.
But it's not people stealing shit and thinking it's okay and just it's nothing. Like that's a lot of money, and the police are going to be involved if it's not returned. I don't know how they're going to return it, but
That's hilarious. That is really, really funny. What's not?
well,
I feel
messed
like,
up.
I really feel like across the board, that was a really strong what's hot, what's not segment. That was strong. We all had great ones that we brought to the table.
That was.
So our top 5 of the week this week is special. We are all big Disney fans. Top 5 Disney movies of all time. This is going to be controversial.
Bringing it back.
This is going to be controversial on the Instagram. I can feel it. But
So are we including like the Star Wars universe
No,
and the
no
Avengers?
Marvel, no Star Wars, only
Good.
animated.
Good.
so who wants to start us?
I can start.
The
Since
G
I
to
was
the
already
U
going.
to the T?
I still don't even know why I'm called Gut. Can you explain to the audience why I'm called Gut? Because it doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
It's because of the gut.
I have no gut.
It's the reasoning why is the amount of food that you consume. You should have a gut, but you don't. You eat healthy now, but in college you would stuff like everything.
We
and
worked out
everything.
like crazy though.
Yeah, we did work out a lot. But anyway, go ahead. And I
All
call you Bert. Can I let the audience know why I call you Bert?
No.
All right, we'll leave that out. All right, go on, Bert. Take us home.
Maybe someday they'll know when we have thousands of subscribers. But
Yeah.
Number 5. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Fantastic movie, Zootopia. It's so funny. It's just they have so many clever things with the animals in it. Shakira sings in it. She does the ending song. It's amazing. Number 4, Lion King. It's a classic. If you don't like Lion King, I
That's
don't.
low.
Well,
Sorry.
that's
This is
what I
your top 5. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Lion King. If you don't have it in your top 5, there's something wrong with you, Mike. No change in your list.
I'm not. I'm writing down what you're saying.
I don't know. That looked like you changing something after, like Max forgetting Michael
All
Jordan.
right.
Lion
Easy
King.
there, Sherlock Holmes. All right, let's move it on to number 3.
Number 3, Finding Nemo. I got so much enjoyment from that movie growing up. Just the animations and the effects and the visuals of that movie is so good, and it's a really, really good storyline as well.
Mike,
Toy
send me a picture when you're done.
Number 2, Toy Story 2. I've probably seen that movie 100 times. That was my childhood. Absolutely love Toy Story 2. And then my number 1, I think Max might be the same, just because the story is so great. Just the implementation of,
Oh,
the woman
make
getting
a man.
and out of you.
Let's get down to business to escape defeat the Huns.
Mike,
Did they send
Good.
me
daughters when I asked.
4 sons?
All right, we're done singing. Mike, do you still not know what I'm talking about?
Mulan.
You guys were just so out of sync singing. I heard like 2 different songs at once.
Milan.
Mike, let's see your nuts.
Mulan's dope because that little dragon dude, that's voiced by Eddie Murphy. He's a fun little troublemaker.
Yeah,
Mike,
but
you know Mulan, right?
Milan is the storyline of it is amazing. The soundtrack is so good. The whole, of her being a woman and getting in its military and being this badass, I think it's really cool. So I think Milan's got to be number 1.
Not the live action one though.
I did see that one. It's a little crazy. Like they kind of go a little wild on it.
Yeah.
But the original, the OG, is the best one.
Nice.
Mike?
All right. I'm including all Disney movies here. So
no Avengers.
no, I already have. No, they're like it's produced by Disney, and
Okay, they're all animated, right?
they're not all animated.
They don't have to be all animated.
They're like released by Disney's, but it's not
Pirates of
like
the
this
Caribbean,
Marvel
Disney.
stuff. It's not Star Wars stuff. This is like OG what Disney
That's
came
fair.
up with.
Michael's top 5's never win, but like.
All right. My number 5 is The Shaggy Dog. That was just a great movie of the 2000s. I don't know. It's got Tim Allen in it, and he gets bit by a dog that's like 300 years old, and he like is a lawyer, and like at the worst times, he just turns into this shaggy dog, like a sheepdog. I think is the.
I don't know how.
You know what?
Is this another
I love
gag
it.
list, Mike? Is this a gag list?
No, I
Are you
love
doing this again?
No.
fantastic choice.
All right. This next one, also released by Disney. It was in the late 90s. It's called Jungle to Jungle. And it kind of has like this New York exec. He's like an uptight businessman, and he goes to like his ex-wife in South America, Brazil. And he turns out like he has a kid that he has to take care of. And this kid just doesn't know anything about civilization. So the main actor is Tim Allen. He has to take his kid back to New York and kind of like deal with him.
Got a hard on for Tim?
So
That's
number
list.
This is a horrible
number
start.
3. Number 3. This is a good one because everyone loved it watching.
Number 4
growing up.
might have
It's gonna
thrown you out
be-
of contention.
Number 3 is going to be the Santa Claus movie. Obviously there were a couple that came out, but the original one that
This is a
came out in
gag
the
list.
90s, I love.
Allen?
Yeah, yes. Tim Allen plays the Santa Claus in it. So
Tim Allen is in it? Why do you have
he's the Santa Claus.
Are there fucking
Great movie, okay?
Did you do
This
it?
is
Top 5 Tim
ridiculous.
Allen Disney movies?
All right. No, I'm doing top
Mike tried
5
to
Disney
search
movies.
Disney movies
Can you
for
guys just let me
Tim
complete
Allen
my
Disney
list?
movie.
All right. Number 1, Ty, you took Toy Story 2. I'm going to go with the original Toy Story where we have Andy, Rex, Woody, Bo Peep,
Great one.
Buzz Lightyear, who's voiced by Tim Allen in that movie. Does a great job, to infinity and beyond.
Wait, Mike, was that your number 2? You didn't give a number 2
You
yet.
give it 2.
That's number 2, Toy Story.
Okay, you said number
Number
one.
2 is Toy Story.
Okay.
But yeah, my favorite character is Buzz Lightyear on that. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
just Tim Allen really
So
completes the role. Number 1,
It's gotta
actually legitimately my favorite movie. Some people are like, is it really Disney? But it is. It's Cars. I love the
Oh
OG
yeah, Cars.
and that came out in 2004. Lightning McQueen, ka-chow, ka-chow. There's a
Mike's
nice little
2 and 1
there's a
was
nice there's a nice little bit in that movie where they kind of have like celebrity cars, and there's a Buzz Lightyear car who actually Tim Allen voices Buzz Lightyear in that little
Of
cameo
course.
role of Cars. So that completes my list.
Mike, who did you make a bet with outside of this going on the pod saying that you have all Tim Allen Disney movies? Bulger?
No, I
Is
just
it
wrote
Bulger?
down my top 5 Disney movies. Ty, you could see
Wow,
I
you got a lot
ranked
of
them.
notes there.
I ranked them. So
Michael
Yeah,
cares about the
I
pod.
like the
Mike,
number 1. Cars
Yeah.
is a very good one.
Mike's 2 and 1 came through. He brought it back. He brought
Number
5
4
through
is the
3 were
worst choice
really
I've ever
tough,
heard.
but
those were childhood favorites that I just had to include. They're not
Personal
really
view.
that popular, but I just felt like I needed to
I get it.
include them.
I'm a huge
Mike-
Mighty Ducks guy, so that's
Mike's
my
the voice to the voiceless. He might not get any votes, but for those people who don't want to like really speak up, Mike's got your back. Everybody for the Santa Claus movie. All right. My number 5, Beauty and the Beast. I'm surprised that nobody had this on their list yet, but I absolutely love Beauty and the Beast, the music. I really base a lot of Disney movies based off of the music. I love a good musical. I love my favorite movie of all time is The Greatest Showman. And I absolutely love it. And I mean, yeah, Beauty and the Beast has a great soundtrack. I love it. I love the concept of it. It's great. Number 4, Hercules.
Oh yeah.
Hercules is a fucking great movie. I love that movie when I was a kid. I always wanted to be Hercules. I thought I was so cool, but I'm not, obviously. But Hercules is a great movie. Absolutely loved it. Number 3, I'm going Monsters Inc. with Sully and
yeah,
Mike
I forgot about
Wazowski.
that one.
Tyler, how could you forget about Roz? Can I take your order?
Dude, one of these episodes I might have to do a Roz impression.
You might. We have to really quick, Mike, we never told you the story yet, but one morning when Tyler and a couple of my college buddies came over to stay over, this one I lived at my parents' house. I think it was like junior year or something. They stayed overnight at my place, and the next morning we went out for breakfast, and there was a lady that sounded exactly like Roz. She's like, "Hi, sweetheart, what do you want for breakfast? Can I take your order?" I was like, "Oh my God." Watching. You want the breakfast skillet? All right.
You can't forget. Wazowski, your paperwork's a month late.
Wazowski, your paperwork.
Wow, Max, that was an amazing impression.
Go ahead.
Like,
Number
yours is
2,
actually-
Finding Nemo.
Yep.
Love Finding Nemo. Just a great movie. Dory, Ellen DeGeneres, Marley.
Brucey.
Yeah. Brucey. That's the best. I love Bruce. Bruce is my favorite. And Finding Nemo. Fish off friends, not food. Number 1, Lion King. Lion King will always be my favorite Disney movie, no matter what. I love it. Best movie, Mufasa.
You didn't even have Mulan in your top 5?
No, Mulan did not make the top 5. Here's the deal about that. I love a couple of the Mulan songs, but I didn't love the Mulan movie as much as I love these movies. There were a couple songs in Mulan that I love. Mulan will be my honorable mention for sure. It's because it's close. It's scraped. Mulan is my honorable mention, but my top 5, I feel like it's very strong. I'm good to submit my card. My lineup is submitted.
Okay. Mike, do you care to switch yours at all?
No, I will not be switching mine, but I thought there are some legitimate, I think, honorable mentions that we should include that none of us talked about. They aren't, unfortunately, these movies don't have Tim Allen in them, but Ratatouille, I think, is a solid movie.
That's such a good movie.
And The Incredibles. The Incredibles is by Disney too. I love The Incredibles.
I've seen that movie like 100 times as well.
Love
So
that.
yeah.
So Those are kind of my.
Those are good honorable mentions.
All right. Well, guys, another fantastic episode. Gotta love it. Gotta love the energy coming out of the squad tonight. Again, another late Sunday night showing, so we got some work to do tonight, but we had fun. So Mike, welcome. Well, I mean, I
Excited to have you on the show.
Welcome formally to the pod. Tyler, can you do me a favor?
Yep.
Can you take us out? Doing one more spin. One more spin. One more. Hot out.